Hello and welcome to the very first episode of Film Companion South. As the name suggests, we hope to be your companion for films from the South, films made in Tamil, Telugu, Kannada and Malayalam. But we hope that we are not just a show for those who already speak these languages, know these languages and watch these films. If you'll pardon the melodrama, the attempt is to de-ghettoize films from the South, take them to people from all over the country, perhaps even all over the world. So on to today's show. It's an Oscar-centric show given that the Oscars have just gotten over, and we have with us Vetri Maaran, whose Tamil film Visaaranai was India's official submission to the Best Foreign Film category. It's a brilliant, hard-hitting film, and its inability to make it to the final five was heartbreaking, but not for want of trying. That's why we wanted to talk to Vetri Maaran, who is the first filmmaker from the South to go to Los Angeles and work the Oscar circuit. We're here to find out what he saw, what he learned, and what he did. Welcome to the show, Vetri Maaran. Let me begin by asking you what Oscar means to you. Do you keep track of films that were nominated, which films are winning? Are you the kind of person who roots for a particular film to win?
First of all, thank you for inviting me for this show. I'm happy to be here. And Oscars for me used to be very exciting as a student, and we used to watch all the films and then we'll say, okay, this film is going to get best script, best cinematography, best director, best actor and all those things. As students we were very excited about it, and then when I started working with Balu Mahendra sir, he just he broke the myth of Oscars for me. And then I was not very keen or very interested in Oscars until Visaaranai was selected.
So, what do you mean Balu Mahendra broke the myth? What do you mean by that?
Because of the media attention Oscar gets, as a common man, we all grow up believing that Oscar is the highest recognition of excellence in filmmaking.
Right.
And Oscar is one of the very few awards, including the Indian National Awards, which are given to films that are already released. Those films have already seen the box office results and then they are being recognized. Whereas other film festivals create a platform and space for films that not necessarily will have a bigger space on the mainstream market.
Right.
So that is where a filmmaker will bloom or will be liberated. There are so many big names, internationally very popular, and filmmakers whom we would call filmmaker, who don't make films for the mainstream.
Right.
But still, they are very successful filmmakers because we have these festival platforms.
So let's talk about last September when we got the news that Visaaranai was selected. So in fact, filmmaker Ketan Mehta, who was the jury chairperson of the Film Festival of India, said out of the 29 movies in the competition, Visaaranai was chosen by the jury unanimously. Did you expect this?
When my executive producer Vinod called me and said around the official announcement was made at 3:30, but someone had called him and told him around 1:30, I believe. Sir, it's our film. I said no way. So then 3 o'clock. Official confirmation came and Dhanush called and said, sir, we are official. I spoke to them and I discussed on, because they watched the theatrical version where the mix is loud, pushed. So I called them and said, is there a way where we can work around the sound? They said, you can't tamper the visual. It has to be the same length, it has to have everything, but you can work on the sounds, they said. Venice version did not have any music. But the version that was showing in other festivals had little music. So I took the Venice version and the theatrical version and the sound was treated in between. So that was the kind of thing that I did initially.
When you say sound, you mean the background score?
Background score. No, see, normally for a the mainstream Indian release, you have the scale would be like, the dialogues would be here, background would be here, and then the ambient sounds and the sync sounds would be somewhere here.
Right.
So normally it is like dialogue, ambience and the background. That's how internationally they mix. More than the music part, we were trying to work on the sound effects, sound design of the whole thing.
Okay. So the only other person who has gone all out to market his film in LA and pitch his film to the Oscar voters is Amir Khan when it came to Lagan. What made you think you wanted to do this, and did you think you had a shot?
See, Amir Khan is one of the people who inspired me or influenced me to take this decision of going there and trying to see what best we can do on this. Whether I thought that we had a shot or not is different, but I wanted to do this. So I spoke to Dhanush and told Dhanush this is going to be quite expensive, but we need to go sit there and do it. When I pitched him this idea, he said, "Sir, tell me what the budget is. You don't need to give me the details." So
budget for the Oscar thing.
Yeah, it's more than the film's budget. so starting from finding a place to live in for those 2 months for the promotions. Once I got this news, I called Guneet Amarpreet. She's the producer of Lunchbox, and she's worked with Anurag, and she has so much of contacts there. And Alif was heading the creative department of Fox. So I called the both of them and said, "See, this is it. I would like us to team up and do the promotions." Once this happened, then Guneet was very confident. She said, overall the mood was like here in Tamil Nadu and in Mumbai, wherever the film people were talking, they said, okay, at last there is one film that we could hope to crack and go into the top 5. So that was the mood overall. It was like, I felt it was like the 1983 World Cup, where everybody thought that it's going to happen.
Right. When you spoke of your film Adukalam, you said that you shifted to Madurai for 3 years to do research on the people and their way of life. I was reminded of that when I heard what you said after you received news of the nomination. You said, and I'm quoting your exact words, "We don't know this area. We've just started to learn about it. It's a big process. It's going to be a long journey for us. It looks like we are going to spend the next 5 months doing this." It's almost like you were treating this like prep work for a film, like a process of learning.
A filmmaker's life is so limited, like in terms of exposure and experience, because we just live in cocoons, and you're actually fed and taken care of. Like, you come out of the house, you have a driver, "Sir, come in." Like, you sit there, you go to the office, you have a couple of meetings, and then you start writing your script, and then go shoot, edit, sleep, wake up, do the same thing, where you don't have a way to get in touch with the real world and get new experiences. For me, every opportunity I get to learn new things, I get excited. Of course, it has to do something with films, or else I can't be there and enjoy it. When this opportunity came, I thought that we should go, and this would be a learning experience and getting to meet new people, and it will be a new experience for us to explore further. For me, I feel that the boundaries of ethnic films are dissolving, and more international funds are going to come and absorb the content that is here. So this was an exploratory expedition, we could say that.
So when you say explore, what you mean more in terms of how you can take your films and make them there? Okay, I'm trying to say what you mean by explore.
Yeah, making our films with their money.
Okay,
that's what I meant.
Okay. So you just hopped onto a plane and decided to give it your best shot.
Yeah, hopping onto the plane. Before that, there's a lot of preparation that was needed.
Okay.
So the first thing that Guneet, Alif and I did was sit down and work on the plan. The first thing that you need to do is get a PR. So a PR who specializes in foreign language Oscar films is essential for your campaign. So there are 2 or 3 big names. Fredel Pogodin, she's the best. And there's another person called Bumble. She's also a very good PR. But how it works is, we got the announcement by September end. Fredel started working on Asghar Farhadi's film in June. So their announcements are made earlier. So they have space to do it, and Fredel handles like Asghar Farhadi's film Julieta, Almodovar's film, and then one more film.
Simply time constraints.
Yeah. And also they have, see, she doesn't want to bet on a, like she wants to bet on a winning horse.
Right.
So that her track record is good. But then Bumble gave the time and she saw the film and said, I really like the film, but as I've taken three other films, I'm unable to do it. She suggested her friends. And then Guneet had another team, Rick Markowitz. Rick works for a big studio there. So we were trying to finalize it. And then it is like the 3 months of the Oscar fever is Los Angeles' summer, where they make hay. So they base the remaining 9 months based on these 3 months. So right. Everything costs. So you start talking, they say like, okay, we will talk further. So $15,000 for the promotion, still shortlist. If it's shortlisted, then it's another 5,000. If it's nominated, another 5,000.
This is just the PR.
Yeah, just the PR. Hollywood is all about wine and dine. So you don't eat lunch, you do lunch. You do dinner, you do breakfast. Pre-breakfast meeting, breakfast meeting, post-breakfast meeting. That's how they live. So this wine and dine is a very important integral part of Los Angeles, not just Hollywood, Los Angeles as such. So we hired a place. It's a beautiful villa where we can host parties and
wow.
invite people to spread the word. And there are so much of rules and regulations, which I'm going to tell later.
What was your average day there like?
The first few days was really tough. Guneet and Olive used to send mails to all their contacts. See, we are come here with this film. Guneet will always add one more thing to the mail, she'll start the mail that way only. When Lunchbox was not selected, we all were let down. Now we are happy that Visaaranai is here. No, this has to compensate. Like, we are here to do that. So they were giving us options of promoting, like, putting out ads on magazines like Variety
right.
and Hollywood Reporter. So we said, okay, we'll give it a shot. So we just thought that we should create an impact, and they said, let's do the center spread.
Okay.
So center spread foreign film issue. We decided to do that, and 2 of those cost $32,000.
Okay.
So, and we did 4 of them. So that in a way gave an impetus. Like, in the sense, people started looking the ads and said, okay, these are guys with some money from India. Let us give them some credibility. Let us listen to what they have to say.
So did you find that once there, you had to be a different kind of person or put on a different kind of face?
One thing that happened which really made me think about myself as a person. So I was talking about how the actors invariably got hurt and got beat up. And one of our supporters, like, that's called whisper campaigning.
Okay.
Whisper campaigning is banned in Oscars. Like, what is whisper campaigning is, like, you go to a screening, you work for me, undercover, you go to the screening and watch this film and say, oh, this is good. But then, did you see that Indian film? That's a great film, I heard. Like, oh, I read a lot about it. I'm going to watch it tomorrow. You're coming for the screening? You try to spread the word. That's called whisper campaigning.
Right.
So one person who does that told Guneet that, people are, the foreign press guys are very unhappy with Vetri for saying that he beat his actors in the film. The member of Golden Globe has told, I like the film, it is making a point, all that is fine, but I don't want to support the film because that guy had beaten his actors to make them act. He's done the same thing there. Okay, so that is something that shook me. So how sensitive they are and how they understand a film as such, as a whole, was something that I learnt. I never believe in rehearsing or thinking about what I'm going to say when I go and stand in front of an audience. I just speak whatever that comes to my mind at that point of time. But then for every screening, before every screening, Alif used to tell me, like, okay, Vetri, what are you going to say? You're going to say this? Okay, I'm going to say this, and she's going to say that. That's how we all planned and went.
So this was a very new thing for you.
Yeah. Very, and also I was feeling very uncomfortable about it as well.
Okay. How did you get word out to people, to Oscar voters to come and see Visaaranai?
This is there are 6,000 voting members for our academy, and most of them are 70 plus men. So, for the foreign language category, out of this 6,000 members, you have 240 members. Nobody knows who those 240 members are. And these 240 members are divided into 4 groups: white, yellow, red and green. Ours was in white. So every member of this particular group will have to watch all the films in the group.
Okay.
Then only they can vote. There is so much of regulations, and then you cannot invite an academy member to a party if there is no screening. See, this wine and dine, you cannot invite an academy member.
Okay.
And once, if you both accidentally happen to meet in another party, you can't give a DVD, a screener of your film,
Right.
or you should not have a poster of your film in a party that you host. So, ideally what happens is, I come with an Indian language film. You are an Indian businessman who's in Hollywood, who's established. So I will come and meet you and say, see, I've come with my film. Please host a party, run the guest list. So you run your guest list. I pay for the party. You run the guest list, you invite all your friends, and then you say, oh, okay, by the way, this is Vetri Maaran, he has come with this film. You know, that film is the Oscar entry for from India this year. Oh, okay, yeah, we will say this. And then you introduce them. And then say, okay, there is also a screening they are doing. If you are free, you can come. Which means you are inviting them.
This sounds like a criminal enterprise.
So, no, see, they have made such stringent rules. You will have to maneuver within that.
Right.
It's so tough. This is where the PR comes into play.
Right.
They know the do's and don'ts. The do's and don'ts are like 40 pages. I wanted to publish it also. I think I should do that. See, initially when we went, this promoting Visaaranai is one angle of this trip. The other one was promoting the talent of the film there. You know, Vetri Maaran as a director, and Dhanush as a producer and an actor, Dinesh as an actor. So, to reach out to as many people as possible and trying to get in touch with the agents. So, we met one agent, Gush. He is the agent for Werner Herzog as well. So we met him, and he was very excited about the idea of the film, and we were discussing some other script ideas as well. So he was keen on hosting a show, and he ran a show. He ran a guest list. He had a show he did a show. Of course, we hired the theatre, and we just set the whole thing up. He called as guest, and Werner Herzog was there to watch the screening, and that was one of my high moments of this whole thing. Having Werner Herzog watching the film, and a lot of people warned, it's very tricky to have called him, because if he doesn't like, he might walk 5 minutes down the film, and that's doom. You're done. Werner Herzog left. That's it. Gone. Nobody's going to come and watch your film. So it was a very tricky thing. And he watched the film and he said that you've made my night a sleepless one. I'm going to have 2 drinks now, he said. So which was very, it's a big compliment. And I told him how we were talking over one of his films, the Agwairi, the Wrath of God, that film. We were talking, the film got over at 9 in the night, and we were talking about the film till 7 in the morning, non-stop. So I was talking about that. It was very, very nice. So meeting these agents and more people, actors and producers, trying to figure out a way, because a lot of people are interested in the Indian money that is there. Because Indian cinema looks like a very mystic and exotic creature for the Hollywood investors. So they want to test waters.
We hope you liked watching this show. If you liked what you just saw, subscribe to this channel, Film Companion South. We hope to see you in the next episode.